Welcome back to the Lines College Football Podcast. I'm Brett Gibbons with TheLines.com, and today we're breaking down the College Football Playoff National Championship game between TCU and Georgia. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Lines YouTube channel, as we're here not just breaking down college football. We're not done. We still have NBA, NFL playoffs, NHL, all that stuff you can find at the Lines YouTube channel. So subscribe, turn your notifications on. But the College Football National Championship game, TCU, who saw them coming, takes on Georgia. Georgia, 12.5 point favorite. This game kicks Monday, January 9th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You can see it on ESPN. Multiple ESPN channels. They have, home radio broadcasts, Coach View, all good stuff surrounding this game. It's got an over-under of 62.5 points. That is rising. It had been bet way down from open, and now it's back on the way up. They're playing this one at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood or Los Angeles. The spread, though, it actually opened in favor of Georgia minus 13.5. So that's falling. There's a lot of bets, a lot of handle coming in on TCU, both sharp and square. TCU is seeing a lot of bets here. Some quick personnel notes really quick. Running back Kendre Miller for the Frogs, he's questionable. Sonny Dykes says he's questionable. Kendre himself says he's ready to play, but in this situation, I tend to listen to the coaches, not the players. But in his place, Imari DiMercado played really well against Michigan in the second half, had 150 rushing yards and a touchdown on just shy of 9 a carry, actually. So he played really well. On Georgia's side, tight end Darnell Washington, he's questionable. Tackle Warren McClendon, he didn't play in the Peach Bowl. He got hurt in the SEC championship game, and he is questionable to play as well. That's a pretty big loss on an otherwise really good offensive line. And the starting linebacker, Chaz Chambliss, they're all questionable. Kirby Smart is hopeful that each one of them will play in this game, though. So I'm going to just start off the bat by saying I think you can take over TCU's team total. It sits at 24.5. There's no harm in waiting to see if it drops to 23.5 because 25, 26, it doesn't really make that big a difference in the way that football is scored and the way that TCU can score. But I am comfortable taking over that team total at 24.5, and here's why. First of all, TCU is playing with house money. That makes them an extremely dangerous team. If they lose, there's no weight of expectation on them. They're even the odds are saying, yeah, you probably won't be all that competitive in this game. At least that's what the odds are saying. So they're playing with house money. That makes them very dangerous. That means they can really do whatever they want on offense, be super aggressive. And if it doesn't pay off, that's okay. No one's going to be, it's not like Georgia where there's a lot of expectation for this team to win. That can bog them down. Also, you can throw on Georgia's defense. They're 33rd nationally in pass EPA and 36th in success rate. That's versus top 5 numbers against the run. So we saw it with Ohio State that they do allow yards through the air. And I think TCU can attack that and early on. But the one thing I wanted to look at too is downfield completion rate. Georgia's allowing 42.1% completion rate on throws 15 or more yards downfield. That's 80th in the country. So they are susceptible to being passed on. Now, a lot of that does come because they build up these big leads and teams are kind of playing desperation ball, but they found some moderate success down the field. And Max Duggan is third nationally in completion rate over 20 yards at 48.6%. Who's first in that metric? CJ Stroud. We just saw how that worked out. He passed for 354, throwing the ball downfield on Georgia. I do believe that is something TCU can do. And if I know that, the coaching staff knows that. And I think that they're going to come out early on bombing the ball downfield, maybe even the first play, first drive of the game, take a deep shot and really kind of test that. So you can find Max Duggan for 1.5 passing touchdowns. If you take over that, you can get plus money at DraftKings. I put pizza money on a little flyer on that, not quite a full unit. But I do think that is a playable option there because who are you going to put the ball in? Whose hands are you going to put the ball in with the national championship game online? How about your Heisman runner-up quarterback who's extremely gutty, very good at playmaking? I really like that passing prop over 1.5 passing touchdowns and also over TCU's team total. I want to talk specifically about Keely Ringo, cornerback for Georgia. He was a preseason All-American, didn't quite live up to that hype. I think a lot of that preseason All-American, he's a very good corner, but I think a lot of that might have been built on that game ceiling, championship ceiling pick six that he had against Alabama, but you saw Ohio State go after Ringo. They were not afraid of him, and Ohio State has a very good cast of receivers, but TCU, Quinn and Johnson, Demario Davis, they have a very good cast of receivers themselves. I think you're going to see them go at him. And also here else is why he's got a higher rate of man coverage in terms of nationally for corners. It's about 37% he's running man-to-man. And against TCU, good luck with that. With guys like Quinn and Johnson. He's also got 9 penalties this year. That's 5th most nationally. So teams are testing him. And, in this day and age, pass defense is tough, and these corners are getting penalized. But Keely Ringo is being penalized more so than others. He also allows a 53.2% catch rate, which is higher in the scope of elite corners or very good corners that we're talking about. However, all 3 starters for Georgia, when in man coverage, allow below 50% catch rate. So they're very good in man. However, they're also allowing a high average depth of target, or ADOT. In Quinn and Johnston lives for high ADOT. He is one of the highest average depth of target receivers in the entire nation. However, he does have a higher drop rate. He does have problems with drops this year, especially in man-to-man when he beats them and, takes his eye off the ball. He does drop the football. So if you see them can miss on a deep shot early, that's going to be kind of rattling for TCU, and Georgia Live might actually be a decent play if you see TCU take one of those deep shots and Quinn Johnson doesn't come down with it. However, it's time to play. He's focused. The bright lights are not too big for TCU whatsoever. None of these players, they played in big games, tight games, come from behind games all year long. So I think we're going to see them pretty dialed in. But if you see TCU take that shot early and Quinn Johnson doesn't come up with that may set the tone for the rest of the game moving forward. There may be some live opportunities to bet in there. That's not an official play for me, though. I'm taking the points with TCU. The best number is gone, that 13.5. It was never going 14, so there really wasn't a reason to wait and see. It's now down to 12.5. 12 in some spots are starting to pop. I still think that 12.5 is a playable number. If you're looking at power ratings, Sagarin's ratings pin this around 7.2 points. SP Plus, 10.9 points. My aggregate power ratings have Georgia favored by 10.5. So really, no matter how you look at it, that's less than 12.5 or 13.5, which I got it open. I think you can take TCU. And as of Thursday, you're looking at about 70% of the money on TCU. 83% of the money line handle is also on TCU. So again, a lot of bets coming in on TCU from all over the board. And if you look at just underdog records, they went 2-0 against the spread in the semifinal with one outright win, of that, of course, being TCU. But underdogs this bowl season, 23-18 against the spread, very successful. It's about 56%. And then underdogs that saw line movement in their favor, which is what TCU is, an underdog with line movement in their favor, went 8-3 against the spread this bowl season and 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 title games. So I have 3 plays here that I'm excited about. I'm taking the points with TCU. I'm taking over Max Duggan's 1.5 passing touchdowns, and I'm taking over TCU's team total. There's a little bit of a trend here. You can see I do have a lot of belief in TCU's offense. You may get to this point in the video and be like, well, you lost me at the beginning when you said that TCU could throw the ball on Georgia. I don't think they're going to do that. Well, if you believe that, then don't take my bets. But that is what I'm playing. TCU with the points, over Max Duggan's passing touchdown prop, and over TCU's team total. And again, you can be patient on the team total, see if it falls. Because if it gets below that 24, it's full send on it. But hop on over to our Discord server where you can connect with over 4,000 sports betting fans, get live updates in our college football server. There you can join a sharp, active community. It was an awesome bowl season. We had a lot of success from that Discord server, not just in bets, but in bowl confidence pools. We had some guys killing it. And it's a very active community this time of year. So get in before the championship game concludes. I'm going to try to keep it up and running all offseason long with transfers, coaching news, injuries, anything you need to be prepared to successfully navigate betting college football. It's a very difficult thing with a lot of moving parts and a lot of teams, but that Discord is excellent, very sharp, very active. It's an awesome community. And don't forget to subscribe to Lines YouTube for daily sports betting strategy videos just like this one, and comment what side you lean. This is the national championship game, folks. This is the biggest game of the season. Comment what side you lean in this game. But thank you so much as always for watching. I'm Brett Gibbons, and good luck betting the college football playoff national championship game.